Dragonflies and fireflies. It's Mrs. Dean, and it's that time again. It's Monday, and what do we do on Mondays? We have a sight word. So our sight word this week is look. I need you to look at me. I see you. I know you're looking. If you're looking, then you're listening. Okay, here we go. Let's make some sentences. Will you help me look for my toy? I like to look at the stars. And then how about you make your sentences? We look for, what do we look for? We look for our shoes. We look for books. I imagine most of the girls would say, we look for rainbows. If you're Scott, you will tell me you look for army men. If you're Tegan, you might say, we look for bunnies. So, look. And I want you to spend some time looking in your books for this word, L-O-O-K. Any of your books that you open, you will find that word. It's a word we use all the time and we don't even notice it. So look for look in your books at home, okay? Now, it's time for us to start our next chapter book. So, we are going to read one of the best books ever. It's called Charlotte's Web. There's also a movie. Some of you may have seen it. It's a great movie. And this story has been my favorite since I was a little girl. I think you'll love it. It's fun. It's exciting. It's really funny in some parts. And it's sad in parts. Just a little bit like every story. There's always a little sadness. But it has a great ending. So, we're going to read 2 chapters today. And I will be giving your parents, if they can come, there's going to be a packet of things to do that go with the story in the office this week. And they can come and get it and take it home, and you can color and make some things that go along with our story, because we would normally be doing that in our journal if you were at school. I hope you're having fun at home. Okay, so here we go. Charlotte's Web, Chapter 1. It's called Before Breakfast. "Where's Papa going with that axe?" said Fern to her mother as they were setting the table for breakfast. "Out to the hog house," replied Mrs. Arable. "Some pigs were born last night." "I don't see why he needs an axe," continued Fern, who was only 8. "Well," said her mother, "one of the pigs is a runt. It's very small and very weak, and it will never amount to anything. So your father has decided to do away with it." Okay, let's stop right there. Let's talk about when this book was written. This book was written even before Mrs. Dean was born. And people who had farms, their farms had to use everything they had. They didn't have a lot of pets like we do now. Things have changed. Farming has become easier. The machinery's gotten better. Back then, every animal had to pull its weight. They had to do their job. So if you had some pigs, or you had a cow or something that wasn't able to do the work, or may not live very long and would take time away from what you needed to do on the farm, they usually put them to sleep. I know that sounds awful, but that's the way a farm had to do. There were a lot of people, and they had a lot of mouths to feed, and they had a lot of other people to feed. They had to do their work. So Mr. Arable said, there's this runt pig. He's just not going to be of any use. But our girl Fern, here she comes. Do away with it, shrieked Fern. You will kill it just because it's smaller than the others? Mrs. Arable put a pitcher of cream on the table. Don't yell, Fern, she said. Your father's right. The pig will probably die anyway. It's so little. Fern pushed a chair out of the way and ran outdoors. The grass was wet and the earth smelled of springtime, and Fern's sneakers were sopping by the time she caught up with her father. And here we have a picture. Please don't kill it, she sobbed. It's unfair. Mr. Arable stopped walking. Fern, he said gently, you'll have to learn to control yourself. Control myself, yelled Fern. This is a matter of life and death.